Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. I just need to come on here really quick because I really need to go inside. I just did a walkthrough of the garden. I just watered some of the containers. And I really need to go in and sit down and see what all just prioritize some of the garden tasks. But let me tell y'all. So I check the weather, which I always do all the time. But over the next 3 to 4 days, it's going to creep back up in the 90s. Okay. And so for the fall garden, you got to be careful because this is how a lot of plants will think that it is time to go to seed. They will bolt and they'll start to go to seed. And I've seen that even in the smallest seedlings. So let me tell you why I'm out here today. I need to be out here pulling up all of these little tomato seedlings that have popped up because we had tomatoes right here. But I'll do that. I'll put that on my list. I just think nature is so cool, y'all. But let me tell you why I'm really out here because, again, we're going to get up in the 90s. That doesn't include the heat index. And this bed right here is specifically the fall garden. It's the cool weather garden. These are cool weather plants in here. And so if it gets too hot, again, you will see it try to bolt and you will see that it tries to go to seed. So what I have done is I have went and I have pulled out my shade cloth. Now they have all types of shade cloth. They have 20%, 30%, all the way up to 100%. But if you remember the video that we did when we planted this bed, I specifically told y'all that I am putting these supports up for two reasons. One of the reasons was because these seedlings, y'all, I just want you to see the growth on it, first of all. Let's talk about the growth. Now, I had this little fella right here. I was like, Lord, I hope he make it. But he seems to be wanting to, bounce back. We just got to give him a little bit of time. He just got to adjust. I'm not going to bother him because I know he's going to come through. But I put this here, first of all, for if we have any pests, because I'm going to tell y'all the little seedlings that we just did. One of them got taken out, and I did a double protection. Okay, so the double protection that I did, let me come over here and show you real quick, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I lift these up, but if y'all remember, go watch the video, because I put diatomaceous earth, and then that was the first protection, the diatomaceous earth, and then the second protections were these garden close right here. So this one that was right here is gone. But what I do is every morning, because you want to give it some airflow, is I take these little domes off, and let it get some air, let it get some sun. But the purpose of me, and these clothes can be used for many reasons. Like, say, for instance, it's really cold. They could be used for protection. But I'm actually using those for protecting them because they're really small. And I'm trying to protect them from pests because when I pulled everything up from this bed, we had some army worms there. We got a lot of, y'all call them pill bugs. I call them roly-polies. Now, sometimes the roly-polies don't damage the plants, but you still got to watch them, and you still have to watch when there's small seedlings. So, excuse me, y'all. So one of the things that I'm going to do is just sprinkle it a little bit more with some diatomaceous earth. So let's go back over here to this fall bed. Y'all, let me tell you, something about clearance plants that really just, and these weren't even bad, but they're just so pretty. They're so pretty. And then this morning, I looked at this dahlia right here. Like, I come out and just assess everything, and I'm just like, this is just beautiful. Okay, so let's go back over here to the fall bed, okay? Because I've seen it happen too many times. And again, if you're just joining, we're going to be in the 90s for a few days. So what I have done, so you remember that when I put these supports up, I said they're either for pests or they're either going to be for shade cloth if it gets back too hot. So what I did this morning, I pulled out my shade cloth. These are 50% shade cloth like this, okay? But now, y'all, we still get wind. And I contemplated. I said, should I go ahead and bring them out? Because, again, we have like a peach tree here. Now, we're going to cut this back. This definitely got to be cut back. But it does provide some shade as well. But I'm thinking, okay, we getting back up in the 90s. And these are really starting to put on some really pretty growth right here. And so I just said to myself, just go ahead and just take the measure to drape them. So we're going to stand back right here. I don't know why when I get on live, my voice want to start acting up. But what we're going to do is I have the supports. And y'all see I got 3 going down. And I've just kind of draped them over. Now you got to understand we still get wind and they can blow off. So that's where these spring clamps come in at right here. And I got a whole, well, I got more inside, but they're like a bucket. And you can get these from Harbor Freight. They're about, they went up a little bit, y'all, just like everything else. But they're no more than like maybe $1.50. But they also have like a variety pack too that you can get. That's probably a little bit cheaper. But some of in the variety pack, they have like some really, really small ones. And I'm like, I don't think it's anything I can use those for. But, and they do have sizes that are bigger. So what I do is I'm going to go down this whole side right here and just all the way around. Probably put about 4 on each side. And I'm just going to clamp it like this so that if the wind does blow, it will keep these on. And I'm probably going to leave these on. This is the thing. So this week, about up until just say Tuesday or Wednesday, it's going to be in the 90s. And then we're supposed to get some rain and it's going to drop down to 71. But what I'm going to do, so I'm going to keep this on during the day, okay? But at night, it does get down in the 60s. So when I get ready to, call it a day in the garden in the evening, I'll just take those clamps off. And then what I'll do is I'll just, just lift it up. Just lift it up at night so it can get some cool temperatures and it will be okay. But this is a 50% shade cloth, so it's going to help keep some of that direct sun from beaming down. And if you look inside, y'all, I just want you to look inside. You see, it just provides a little bit of shade, and it just provides so that the direct rays of the sun are not beaming on here, because I've seen it happen too many times where that's why I tell people be very careful. Know your first fall frost, know your last spring frost, know your growing zone, but be very careful when you go to a lot of the garden centers and they put a lot of things out. Sometimes I feel like they might put them out too soon, but I know they all got to, sell. And that's why you need to know for yourself, because you can put out a lot of things and it'll still be a little bit too hot for them. And you will see a thick stalk that will come up in the middle of the plant. And that basically means that they are about to go to seed. It's like the plant is saying, hey, it's hot. I've done what I'm supposed to do. Now let me make some seed, okay? Nature is amazing, because if you can see right here, I didn't harvest a few tomatoes. And so the seed, what I can tell you is these were the homestead tomatoes. Very good germination rate here. Very, very good. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But we're just going to just pull these up. Oh, it just hurts my heart to do that, because these are like potential tomato plants. But we also want to get these out the way. I'm one that's, although weeding is not one of my favorites, but I like to get it out the way because I don't like the plants to have to compete for any type of nutrients. So I'm just going to go through and just remove all of these little seedlings that have popped up. Since they're so small and tender, I mean, you can literally do this with your hand. But I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm always just trying to set my plants up for the best growing season possible. And so I don't want them to think that it's time to make seeds. And I told y'all, if I will put it in the profile, after the video is finished rendering this live, our cool weather kits, this is some of the lettuces that you get right here. And remember, you could harvest them whole, you could do the baby leaf, but I really love these. They're very easy to grow. A lot of pest resistant qualities with these. And I grew these at the beginning of the year. We probably were able to grow these up until May, and then it got hot for them, and I could tell that they were, starting to try to bolt and go to seed. And you have to be careful about that too, because that is what will turn a lot of the lettuce really bitter. I started some arugula from seed, but what I do know from past experience is that arugula is, depending on the variety, it's really quick to go to seed. And so I'm waiting probably until later on this week, and I'm probably going to put the arugula right here in the front, and then I'm going to decide what we're going to do for the back over there. But I just wanted to share with you, if you're, and we're in zone 8A now, we're in Georgia. So if, check your temperatures. If you have fall vegetables out and it's starting to get really, really hot again, you may want to consider just putting a shade cloth to keep, those direct sun out, to try to protect the plant from not bolting and going to seed. But we got so many other plants that we need to get planted. We've been doing things like hardening them off. So slowly but surely, y'all, slowly but surely, we're going to start pulling up a lot of these summer vegetables right here and getting them planted, because it's really important, again, that you know your first fall frost, your last spring frost, and your growing zone, because you still want to get them in your garden in enough time to where they can still benefit from these temperatures, benefits from this sun, so that they can start to grow. Because you will know, as we continue to move towards the winter, the growth is going to go slower and slower. They'll still be there, but the growth is not going to be as much as, just say, the spring going into the summertime. So we're going to start planting up a lot of things. I got to replace a broccoli. And it's just going to be a beautiful fall garden this year. A lot of leafy greens. And then we're going to add some herbs to the garden. One of the herbs that I add in the fall is the chamomile. We always fall plant that, and we let that overwinter, because here in Georgia we get hot really quick, and it can tolerate those cooler temperatures. And then in the spring it'll, start to grow again, and it'll be ready. But we do want to get a little bit of growth on it and then overwinter it. So I'm going to sit down, y'all. I'm going to sit down today. Remember, one of the things that I always say is don't overwhelm yourself. I really had to stand out here this morning as I was watering some of my containers. I'm just amazed by this lemongrass. I mean, lemongrass is very easy to grow, but I was like, you know what? I got to start harvesting some of this lemongrass right here. And I actually use it for a lot of tea and a lot of tea blends. However, I said I was going to start trying to make a few dishes with lemongrass as well. But it's really pretty here. And then we also have a few onions that we need to put out. And I need to do a few videos. I was a little bit sad because I did a really spur of the moment, which is so unlike me, trip to County Farm. That's like one of my favorite places to go. And I was hoping that they had the Vidalia onion starts, because I like to grow Vidalia onions, because when I stayed in the Savannah area, it wasn't too far from that. But they don't have them out as much. They don't have them out yet, because they've actually got moved up to zone 9A now. Like, it really doesn't start to get cold in the Savannah area, probably around late December. Like January and February may be like your coldest months. And so they put theirs out a little bit later. Like, we're still in September, but I don't think I'm going to take that trip down there until next year again. So since I've moved to the Atlanta area, I try to go 2 times a year versus, let's just say, 4 times a year. But we did start some, what do you call it? some onions from seed. So I think I'm gonna just put those out for now. And I have some shallots as well. So we'll put those out. Y'all, I am looking. Let me show y'all what I'm looking at. Within 1 week, the pineapple sage, like it only had like 2 blooms on there. I'm looking at this hummingbird just really go to work. I just feel like he's so happy because I'm telling y'all, earlier this week, it may have been maybe two blooms on here. And I just want you to look at it right now. Like just within a week's time. And this is one that the hummingbirds love. And I had just said the other day, you need to come on out here and stop playing and take cuttings of this, because this is how I can start new plants like this. But last week, this plant was not like this. This just lets you see how when different temperatures start to take place. Now it's going to be hot next week, but when it got down to the 80s, it started making these blooms right here, and just over like a week span, I'm just spanning around it. Like it's just, I was like, wow. And then also my calendula that we started, because they like cool weather, they're starting to, I'm seeing like a little bit of flowers coming. But look, I got to spray because these are worm droppings. So I'm going to come out here this evening, really come around this soil, see what's going on, just see what's going on. We're going to put some diatomaceous earth on here, and then we're also going to do an application of BT because, oh, this one's bad over here. I lost probably like 3 plants when I planted them. So we want the blooms to come on. But yeah, so this is why I try to come out in the morning and just really do a walkthrough. Now, I did have to go ahead and water a lot of our pots in the back. One of the things, and y'all know every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go over what we want to accomplish for the week. And I just share that with y'all. And then I'll share if I was able to complete it or if we got to roll it over. But I will give you a sneak peek. The big project. We gotta roll it over because I really goofed off this week. So this was my birthday week, and I just goofed. I did whatever I felt like doing. I went to the county farm. I went to the growers outlet again. I just did whatever I felt like doing this week. But also I had some commitments at night that I had to go through. So next week I got to get myself together. I got to get a lot of rest because I was up till like 11, 12, sometimes even 1 o'clock this week, going through the things on my Zoom call. And 9 o'clock is normally when I'm in the bed. So imagine how my body feels. So I just told Chris yesterday or this morning, I was like, starting Monday, I'm probably going to be in the bed like 8 o'clock. You can't, I mean, I just want to recoup my body back. I want to, get my rest. Rest is really important, y'all. And I've learned that as I've gotten older. I just used to be the one like, okay, I'll get it when I can. But as I've gotten older, your body really speaks to you and tell you when it's time to get somewhere and sit down. And so I feel that now. Like yesterday when I went to the growers outlet, and I'll share with y'all really quick why I went back there. I'm supposed to be going down to help my mom. Her church got a new sign, a new church sign. And so I told y'all my mom likes to garden as well. And so she's in charge of planting around the church sign. And so I suggested, she didn't want anything really high. So I suggested that she get the drift roses. Let me show you kind of like an example of what the drift roses look like with the sign, because they don't get over maybe 18 inches in height and 24 inches in width. So these are like an example. You about to go somewhere, Chris? Okay, give me a few minutes. I'm gonna ride with you. Okay, so these are kind of like the drift roses right here. So they don't get really high, and they get about 2 feet in width. So she's in charge of doing that. But I wanted to go and check because at the growers outlet, it seems like every day you have to go on there and look at their website. Every day they kind of change out, and every day a shipment comes, because yesterday they had a truck to come in too. So I was just going, letting her know about the colors that they had, what colors did she want, because I was going to go and pick up the plants, and then I was going to go down to my hometown, and we were going to plant them, or we are going to plant them. But that's why I was there. But that goes back, y'all. I was so tired yesterday morning because I had stayed up the previous night, probably like the 12-1 on a Zoom call. Just so tired, but I pushed through, and I actually took a nap yesterday, and I normally don't take a nap like during the day. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. If y'all see me napping during the day, is I'm probably not feeling my best. So yeah, I took a nap, but starting Monday, we probably gonna move the bedtime back to like maybe 8 o'clock, because this next week up until the 30th is gonna be a busy time for me, and so I want to have my mind right. And I want to be rested, because it really is important. It really is important. But believe it or not, y'all, gardening can help you really have a good night's sleep. You get out here and you do some work, do enough work. And go in and take a shower, and maybe drink some holy basil tea or something like that. Oh, you'll have a good night's sleep. So that's what I plan to do. But that's what I'm going to do right now, y'all, is I'm going to finish putting the shade cloth on. Again, these are like 50% shade cloth. This is our fall garden. This is going to help keep some of that direct sun rays off of the plants, so that the plants don't think that it's time to go to seed, because you could tell that the soil is at a great soil temperature, because we got these tomato seedlings that are popped up. So it's at a good temperature, but we don't want it to overheat, get too hot, and the plants be like, look, let's go ahead and we're done, and the season hasn't even gotten started. Good. But y'all, don't this bed look so pretty? It's gonna be so colorful. It really is going to be pretty. So let me finish clamping this up, y'all. Let me go with Chris wherever he's at, because normally I'll have breakfast cooked. But yeah, I've been teasing him like all this week. I'm like, it's my birthday month, y'all. Not week, not day. So I've been like, I'm do what I want to, because it's my birthday month. So let's see I'm gonna see what he's about to do. But I do have a Zoom call at 1 o'clock today that I have to be back for. So I'll keep y'all posted. I'm gonna make some new videos for y'all, let you see what I got, let you see what I'm about to get planted, because we have got to start really just go ahead clearing out more of these summer beds. This will probably be the last one. Now I'm gonna pull this basil, but the cucumber, like, I gotta let stay, because it's more cucumbers that keep coming on. But those beds over here, we got to start getting those planted up. And I have some of the strawberries that's coming in this week. It's the white strawberries, and I'm eager to try that. But y'all know that's supposed to be in Berry Lane. So I'm going to keep y'all posted throughout the week. I may just impromptu go live from time to time, just because I want to show y'all real quick. No editing involved. But I'll make sure that I leave it up so that you can watch the replay. Thank you, Shirley. Yes, happy birthday month. That's what I've been telling Chris, so I can just do whatever I want to, and then I'll be like, this is my birthday month. Okay, so I'm gonna see what he has, but I always have to tell Chris, you gotta have me back by 1 o'clock, because I am one of structure, y'all. So just like yesterday, that's why when I went to County Farm, it was so impromptu. I normally don't do things like that. Normally I'll plan things out, but I'll plan things out like, I need to be out of the house by this time, I'm going to be back on the road by this time. Like, normally I'll do stuff like that. So I got to make sure that I tell Chris he has to have me back here by 1, because Chris will tell you he only gonna go here, and it will. I'm not lying to y'all. It will be 8 hours later, and you just pulling back up at the house. So I always, when I get in the car with him, I always tell him, tell me exactly where you're going, because that's gonna be my decision of if I want to ride with you or not. Because I don't know if it's a difference between women and men. And if we have any men on here, put it in the comments. So oftentimes when I'm gone a long time from the house, I'm still thinking about all of the things that I need to do. All of the things that, what do I want to cook? Like, I've already thought today, like, this is what I'm going to cook today for dinner. And this is what I could be doing while we out here in this Atlanta traffic getting frustrated. That's how I think. Um, so that's why I had to tell him, tell me exactly where you're going, because you won't walk back into your house. Like, it's 9:24 right now, and with Chris, you'll walk back in at like 9 tonight, 10 tonight, because he's just all over the place. And some days I could take it, and some days I can't. But this is a day after I've got finished watering all of my containers. I'm like, I got to get serious. I really got to get serious, because uh believe it or not, October 1st is right around the corner, and I'm still playing games. I'm not playing games, y'all. I do work. Let me not playing games, but y'all know I tell you that I also like to plant by the moon. So we're in a full moon stage. So I am telling myself, you need to get the radishes planted. You need to plant some more carrots. You need to you need to plant the beets. I got some beets that I want to plant. So I'm telling myself, you need to go ahead and do this during this full moon stage. But in order to do that, I got to clear out some of the plants. So I'm going to, for real, y'all, I got a whole like calendar specifically for gardening. But we'll be back on tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I'm going to sit down. I'm going to come up with at least about 2 to 3 things that I want to get done today. So I hope y'all have an amazing, amazing Saturday. And like I always tell Chris and my family, you got to create it. You got to create the happiness. So y'all have a good Saturday. Remember, tomorrow at 6 p.m., as long as it's not raining, y'all. As long as it's not raining. But if it is, I'll go on the front porch. As long as the wind's not blowing and the rain is coming on there, okay? So y'all take care. Have a good weekend. We'll talk again soon. Bye, y'all.